Hello, guys. So I'm going to give my comments on the latest statement from the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, with respect to declaring a state of emergency on insecurity, and then his directive for his government to start addressing the issue of creation of state policing. Okay, so yes, I think both ideas are very welcome development, especially in this time of serious insecurity in this country. Um, there's never a better time for this to have happened. Declaring a state of emergency actually implies that all resources of government, all aspect of government is focused, is dialed into providing actual security for the people. Especially with all the kidnappings and killings and headsmen attacks that we've been having. All agencies, all apparatus are supposed to re-strategize, retrain, and strengthen efforts to protect people, whether you are in the rural enclave of this country or in the urban sector. So this is welcome, and it's long overdue because most people have been calling for this for a very long time. It is painful that it has to get to this point where we hear one story or the other of kidnappings or adoption of kids in schools before the government will act. Then the other issue of state policing is also a welcome idea, but it has to be done with a lot of caution. Uh, why I say that is that we've seen so many great policies in this country over the years, and because of bad implementation or corrupt nature of our leadership, they usually will abuse those opportunities. So how are we to prevent leaders from using those police officers to their advantage, either to intimidate opposition or to probably get elections in their favor? How are we supposed to do that? So those um, those rules, directive, laws must be part of the documentation or the rules, the regulations guiding the institution of state policing. It's very, very important. It's key for it to succeed, because if not, it's going to just be like what we see with DSS, what we see with headsman, last man, whatever you call them. They work for the government, and so they're afraid for their jobs. They cannot be independent. It's going to be the same you see with INEC. Independent Electoral Commission. That's supposed to be independent. So for them to now work for the government instead of for the people, so rules, regulations have to be in place for this to happen. So now, having said all this, we have to understand that the current situation, the current problems that we're facing in this country, is all as a result of bad leadership over the years. See, attention was not paid to developing our security infrastructures. Amounts that were allocated to security were misused, misdirected into other areas. And so we see the direct impact at this point. So these are the issues, these are the things that the government must address for this to succeed. Because if not, we'll continue in cycles, and then until maybe there's another Donald Trump warning or an international warning before we come back to trying to do the right things. All right, that's my own opinion, and that's my own impression of what is going on currently. What do you think?